Good day everyone. Today we, the Group 3, are honored to delve into an enlightening discussion about the intricate marvels of the skeletal and muscular systems. But before we embark on this exciting lesson, let's kick off with some intriguing trivia. Did you know that within the human body, an adult possesses a framework of 206 bones? So these bones serves as a fundamental scaffolding, furnishing vital structure, unwavering support, and crucial protection for the body's organs and delicate tissues. So for short introduction, skeletal system is made up of bones that serves as a body's structural foundation, offering support, safeguarding vital organs, and storing essential minerals. While the muscular system is composed of muscles connected to bones, which facilitates movement through contraction and relaxation, enabling a wide range of activities from basic movements to intricate athletic endeavors. But the wonders of the skeletal and muscular system don't end up there. Therefore, we have learning objectives for our lessons, which composed of identifying active tissues in bones, differentiating intramembranous and endochondral bones, locating bones and major features from skull to lower limb, explain skeletal muscles and joint movements, naming and describing major parts of skeletal muscle fibers, and detailing how various muscular responses move body parts. So without further ado, let's embark on our exploration of the skeletal and muscular systems. Now we're exploring into the remarkable world of bone tissue. Bones are far more than just the rigid structure that support our bodies. However, it has an active tissues composed of various types of cells, and each of it has its own crucial role. So in bone tissues, there are four main types of cells, which includes osteoblasts, osteocytes, osteoclasts, and osteogenic cells. Let's start with osteoblasts. These are the architects of bone tissues because it is often referred to as bone builders. Their primary function is to synthesize and secrete the bone matrix, which provides the framework for bone tissues. Additionally, osteoblasts play a vital role in regulating the balance of calcium and phosphate ions, which is crucial for bone development. Imagine na nga ang osteoblast is the construction worker of our bone, which laying down the foundation of a building, ensuring it's strong and stable. Next up, we have osteocytes. It is derived from osteoblast because these cells acts as the guardian of bone tissues. It is equipped with specialized proteins. Osteocytes maintain the integrity of the bone matrix, ensuring proper biomineralization even in low oxygen conditions. So kung kaina, ang osteoblast is the constructor of bones, ang osteocytes naman niya is the vigilant sentinels, which is tirelessly watching over the structure of our bones even in the most challenging condition. Now let's talk about the osteoclasts. These cells are the bone recyclers which derive from the myeloid or monocyte lineage. Osteoclasts break down the bone tissues as part of the natural remodeling process. So, ang osteoclast naman niya is ang demolition crew, which is siya ang nag-clear out sa mga old or damaged bone tissues to make way for new growth. Now, naintindihan ta na ang osteoclast, which is ang nag-breakdown sa atong nga bone tissues. However, why man ka magatingalang, why is it necessary nga akin nanlanggit gubon? Diba la? So, imagine na nga ang aton nga bone remodeling serves as a constant renovation process in our bodies. Just like how you renovate a house to maintain its structure and functionality. Our bones undergo remodeling to repair damage, adapt to stress, and maintain mineral balance. That means that osteoclasts play a crucial role in the process by breaking down old or damaged bone tissues that allows for the new formation of new bone and ensuring our skeletal system stays strong and healthy. Last but not the least, we have the osteogenic cells, also known as the osteoprogenitor cells. These versatile stem cells plays a crucial role in bone repair and growth, stepping in when bones need to heal or develop. So imagine a construction site where the workers are diligently laying down the foundation for a new building. Osteogenic cells are the mastermind behind this process, which they are guiding the repair and growth of bone tissues with precision and expertise. So remember, each of these cells plays a vital role in maintaining the health and integrity of our skeletal system. And understanding their function is the key to appreciating the complexity of bone tissues.
Bones are incredible structures that provide support and protection for our bodies. So now let's proceed to our topic, intramembranous and endochondral bones. Ossification is a process of bone formation. Ossification occurs through two main processes, intramembranous ossification and endochondral ossification. Let's break down each of these processes step by step. Intramembranous ossification. Imagine this as the formation of bones within a membrane. This process primarily occurs in specific areas like the skull, clavicles, and mandible. These are the steps of intramembranous ossification. Mesenchymal cells, which are essentially stem cells, differentiate into osteoblasts, the bone-forming cells. These cells gather in what we call ossification centers. Osteoblasts start producing osteoid, a substance that eventually traps them, transforming them into osteocytes, the mature bone cells. As osteocytes multiply, trabecular bone, a spongy type of bone, and periosteum, the outer covering of bone, start to form. Cortical bone, dense, compact bone, forms on the surface of trabecular bone, giving it strength. Blood vessels invade the area, forming the red marrow, which is essential for blood cell production. Endochondral ossification is a bone formation begins within the cartilage. The steps of endochondral ossification. Mesenchymal cells again play a role, but this time they differentiate into chondrocytes, cells that form cartilage. Chondrocytes in the center of the cartilage model undergo hypertrophy, meaning they enlarge and begin to mineralize the surrounding matrix, essentially turning it into bone. As the center of the cartilage model becomes bone, chondrocytes around it die off, creating spaces for blood vessels to invade. These vessels bring osteogenic cells, which are essential for bone formation. The primary ossification center forms in the diaphyseal region, the staff of the bone, known as the periosteal collar. Secondary ossification centers develop in the epiphyseal region, the ends of the bone, helping it grow and develop. Differentiate intramembranous and endochondral ossification. Intramembranous ossification primarily forms flat bones like those in the skull, while endochondral ossification forms the rest of our bones, including long, short, and irregular bones. These two processes have some key differences, such as the initial formation site and the involvement of cartilage. Understanding these differences is crucial for comprehending how our skeletal system develops and functions.
At this point, let's delve into the remarkable framework that shapes and supports our bodies, the skeletal system. Each bone plays a crucial role in keeping everything in place. Join me as we explore the locations, descriptions, and functions of these major bones, uncovering the foundation of our bodies. Let's begin with the skull. It is located at our head. The human skull is the bone structure that forms the head of the human skeleton. So it supports the structures of the face and forms a cavity for the brain. Like the skull of other vertebrates, it protects the brain from injury. Moving down to the spine, it is located from the base of your skull down to the length of your back, going all the way to your pelvis. It is our body's central support structure, connecting different parts of your musculoskeletal system. So the spine helps you sit, stand, walk, twist, and bend. Next is your chest. It is located in the region of the thorax, between the neck and diaphragm in the front of the body. So the thorax or chest is a part of the anatomy of humans, mammals, and other theropod animals, situated between the neck and abdomen. So your chest holds many important structures for breathing, digestion, blood circulation, and other vital body functions. Let's proceed to the arms. So the arm or upper arm is the part of the upper limb between the glenohumeral joint or shoulder joint and the elbow joint. The upper extremity or arm is a functional unit of the upper body, consisting of 3 sections: the upper arm, forearm, and hand. It extends from the shoulder joint to the fingers and contains 30 bones, along with the numerous nerves, blood vessels, the arteries and veins, and muscles. So the human arms are weaker but very mobile, allowing them to reach at a wide range of distances and angles. And they end in specialized hands capable of grasping and fine manipulation of objects.
Hand. Hand is a gripping organ at the tip of the forelimb in some vertebrates. It is extremely mobile and flexible throughout its whole structure. The wrist joint, carpal, metacarpal, and phalange bones make up this structure. It is a prehensile multi-fingered appendage located at the end of the forearm or forelimb. The human hand contains 27 main bones. Each finger has 3 bones, the thumb has 2, the palm of the hand has 5 bones. The wrist, which attaches the hand to the arm, has 8 small bones. There are also some small bones near the base of the digits. The function of the hand is to grip, grasp, and form precise movements such as push, pull, pat, scoop, and carry. Next is the pelvis. Pelvis is a set of bones in the shape of a basin that connects the trunk to the legs, supports and balances the trunk, and houses and supports the internal sex organs, as well as the intestines and urinary bladder. Pelvis is located at the lower part of the torso. It is situated halfway between the legs and the abdomen. Pelvis is crucial for locomotion because it acts as the pelvic girdle through which body weight is transferred to the lower limbs for childbirth. Because the human neonate must pass through the birth canal as it leaves the body, and for support of the abdominal organs, which are held up by the pelvic floor muscles and the pelvic itself. Next is the legs. The femur or the thigh bone, the tibia or the shin bone, and the smaller fibula are the basal segment of the human legs bones. The tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges that make up the pes or the foot are the distal section. The legs are the 2 lower limbs of the body. The appendicular skeleton, which supports the many muscles in the lower limbs, includes the bones of the legs and foot. Together, these muscles can move in ways including standing, walking, running, and jumping. While yet being flexible enough to allow for mobility and balance, the bones and joints of the leg and foot must be robust enough to sustain the body weight. Feet. In order to provide stability, balance, and mobility, each foot's 26 bones, 30 joints, and more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments collaborate. The foot is the lowermost point of the human leg. The feet are flexible structures of bones, joints, muscles, and soft tissues that let us stand upright and perform activities like walking, running, and jumping.
So in this presentation, I'm going to be discussing about skeletal muscles and joint movement. So what is skeletal muscles? Skeletal muscles is the 30 to 40% composition of body mass. It is muscles that connects to the bones and at the same time the voluntary muscles. Under this, we have synovial joints or synovial joints. It is the type of joint found between bones that move against each other. Characteristically has a joint cavity filled with fluid. Under this joint is the elbow joint, knee joint, shoulder joint, and hip joint. Elbow joint is formed between the humerus, radius, and ulna. Knee joint is formed between the femur and tibia. Shoulder joint is formed between the humerus and scapula. Hip joint is formed between the femur and the hip bone. And now we have types of joint movement. So what is flexion and extension? Flexion and extension are the common opposing movements. These are the bending and extending movements that can be seen in elbow and knee joints. What are the differences of these two joint movements? Flexion is a bending movement that decreases the angle of the joint to bring the articulating bones closer together. Extension is a straightening movement that increases the angle of the joint to extend the articulating bones. Hyperextension. Hyperextension is the extension of a joint beyond 180 degrees. This can be a normal movement such as looking up. This joint movement can also be result in injury. For example, a person that attempts to break a fall by putting out a hand, the fall force can result in hyperextension of the wrist, resulting in a sprained joint or broken bone. Plantar flexion. Plantar flexion is the movement of the foot toward the plantar surface, as when standing on the toes called plantar flexion. Abduction and adduction. Abduction is a moving a limb away from the midline of your body. Adduction, in the other hand, is moving a limb towards the midline of your body. Medial and lateral. Medial is the internal rotation. It refers to the rotation towards the axis of the body. The lateral is the external rotation. Refers to the rotation away from the center of the body. Circumduction. Circumduction is the movement of a body region in a circular manner, in which one end of the body region being moved stays relatively stationary while the other end describes a circle motion. Supination and pronation. These terms used to describe the up or down rotation of your hand, arm, or foot.
Here are the 5 main parts of skeletal muscle fibers. First is the sarcolemma. Sarcolemma is a tubular sheet that encases and defines each muscle fiber, forming a barrier between extracellular and intracellular compartments. The sarcolemma is comprised of a plasma membrane and a cyco or polysaccharide coating that fuses with tendon fibers. So the sarcolemma maintains the intracellular milieu, actively transports substrates into the muscle cell, serve as a docking location for proteins originating in the basement membrane and cytoskeleton, and also transmit neural excitatory impulses that lead to muscle contraction. Second is the nucleus. So, skeletal muscles are composed of individual multinucleated myofibers with nuclei positioned at their periphery. Myofibers are formed by fusion of mononucleated myoblasts, and during their development, successive nuclear movements and positioning events have been described. So, nuclei in skeletal muscle fibers are the sites of action for metabolic processes that contribute to the growth and maintenance of muscle mass. The nuclei have a high concentration for myonuclei and sarcoplasmic reticulum involved in protein synthesis. And the third is mitochondria. Mitochondria are membrane-bound cell organelles or mitochondrion, singular, that generate most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. Chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in a small molecule called adenosine triphosphate. So mitochondria are the primary source of energy production and are implicated in a wide range of biological processes in most eukaryotic cells. Skeletal muscles heavily relies on mitochondria for energy supplements. In addition to being powerhouse, mitochondria evoke many functions in skeletal muscle, including regulating calcium and reactive oxygen species levels. A healthy mitochondria population is necessary for the preservation of skeletal muscle homeostasis, while mitochondria dysregulation is linked to numerous myopathies.
What is myofibrils? It is a long contractile fibers, groups of which run parallel to each other on the long axis of the myositis. It is a long single multiclated cells that combine to form the muscles. It is a basic rod-like organelle of a muscle cells. Skeletal muscles are composed of long tubular cells known as muscle fibers, and these cells contain many chains of myofibrils. Each myofibrils has diameter of 1 to 2 micrometers. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is a complex network of specialized smooth endoplasmic reticulum that is important in transmitting the electrical impulse as well as in the storage of calcium ions. These longitudinal tubules form a membrane-bound system of tubules and cisterns that surrounds the myositis. It has a storage and release of calcium ions in the K function of the sarcoplasmic reticulum, a transverse tubule, and two terminal cisternae.
Different kind of muscles have different jobs. Skeletal muscles are connected to your bones by tough cords of tissue called tendons. As the muscle contracts, it pulls on the tendon, which move the bone. Bones are connected to other bones by ligaments, which are like tendons and help hold your skeleton together. Smooth muscles are also called involuntary muscles since you have no control over them. Smooth muscles work in your digestive system to move food along and push waste out of your body. They also help keep your eyes focused without your having to think about it. Cardiac muscle. Did you know your heart is also a muscle? It is a specialized type of involuntary muscle. It pumps blood through your body, changing its speed to keep up with the demands you put on it. It pumps more slowly when you're sitting or lying down, and faster when you're running or playing sports, and your skeletal muscles need more blood to help them to do their work.
So in conclusion, the human body skeletal and muscular system work together to create its structural framework which allows movement, support, and protection. By means of its bones, the skeletal system offers a strong structure that supports and protects the human body's important organs, whereas the skeletal muscles that compose the muscular system allow movements by contracting and relaxing in response to nerve signals. When these two systems work together, they form an interactive and interconnected relationship that is essential for maintaining overall body functions, postures, and accurate movement executions. These systems plays a significant role in promoting health, mobility, and the capacity to participate in a wide range of activity throughout our life. So that would be the end of our discussion. Thank you for listening. Have a great day and goodbye.